those who look into the perfect law, the law of liberty, and persevere, being not hearers who forget, but doers who act, they will be blessed in their doings. James 1:25.
The law is right, and it's written by God in stone. The law is love, and the law is life, and it's written by God in stone.
Does it make a nation happy to put away the laws of God? The countries here on earth have their laws, and the safety of the inhabitants of these countries is due to their obedience to these laws. And you know how strictly they require that these laws be obeyed. You see an officer by the side of a man who wears handcuffs upon his hand and his feet. And when we see this, we know and understand that this man has transgressed the laws of the land. He has forfeited his liberty and is put in prison because he has transgressed the laws of that country. So then, shall anybody advocate that the Lord of the universe has no law to govern his country? Is it the doctrine of Jesus Christ or of heaven that the law of God has been binding, that has no binding claims upon the world's inhabitants? Why? Because the law or the 10 Commandments is the great moral standard of righteousness in heaven and on earth. This great law is the foundation of all laws, to all nations and to all families. What a piece of workmanship of the devil it is to say then that the law of God is done away and is no more binding upon the human race. We know that the murderer and the adulterer and the thief get in trouble with the law at once. And so these are the same people who would love to say that there is no law, or the law has been swept away with or done away with, so that they could have the free license to all their imaginations and wickedness. We do not think, as we see a man attended by an officer of justice, that he's been keeping the law. But we see and understand that this man has broke the law. So, every soul, each and every one of us that lives upon the face of the earth, must have our tests and trials. Circumstances will come in the providence of God when we will be called to vindicate our faith. We shall give a decided evidence on which side we are truly on. We shall either be decidedly the vindicators of God's holy law or on the side of the transgressors. We shall be tested as Noah was tested, because the corruption was nearly universal in his age. But did he argue then to say that it would not pay for him to stand separate alone for God's law? No. He took his position as God's nobleman on the side of the right, because it was right. So then, let us all be vindicators of God's law, doing what we know to be right, because it is right. This is Willis Bias with A Touch of Faith Ministries, challenging you to be a vindicator of God's holy law. God bless.
We'll follow his commandments. I'll abide in him alone.